A couple of years down the road, a tear rolls down that rosy red cheek of yours.
One tier?
The first of what will undoubtedly be a lot of tears. Rolls down that fucking cheek, slips off, but it does that thing that tears sometimes do where they kind of like hang for like just a sec before it like,
I have a gravity defying tier.
yeah, your tear kind of like hangs a little bit, and it like in the morning sunlight it kind of like glitters, and it's almost like you can see like the creation of galaxies inside it.
What the fuck, Pat?
It falls off your cheek, hits the newspaper. The galaxies are all washed away. You're
Why am
looking
I
down
reading a physical newspaper?
because you've made a point lately to get your news from physical media. You're like, look, people on the internet, they can say whatever the fuck they want, and you've been fooled too many times. You've been burned a lot by online news. You saw one time somebody on Facebook, they made an event where it was like they were like, "Hey, Limp Bizkit is going to play at the RBM Food Mart. Everybody go." You went. You were like tricked. And so like obviously they didn't show up. It was just like a goof. But you
Well, that
went
fucking sucks.
and you actually waited for like 12 hours
Why would I do that? I
because
wouldn't wait 12 hours for like my favorite band, let
be,
alone Limp Bizkit.
because you just felt like Fred Durst will not let me down. You actually say
In
that to people.
no way have I ever thought, in no way have 10 people on this planet at any point in time throughout human history thought Fred Durst will not let me down.
But you've heard stories over the years of how like he's cool to fans and stuff like that, and you're like Mr. Durst would not allow somebody to put this event up if he wasn't gonna go. Like you
I'm
really,
operating under the assumption that Fred Durst is constantly monitoring the internet for fake Limp Bizkit show postings. That's the assumption that you're telling me I'm operating on.
well, I mean, later on you realize how kind of dumb it sounds, but at the
Yeah,
time,
Pat, it's fucking stupid. That's more than a full time job. Like, where would Fred Durst get the time to do that? And then
I
like
don't know.
enforce something?
I'm just telling you what happens. So
This
you
fucking
you
sucks. This
sit
is
there and like when people are like, "Hey, dude, like that was just a joke. I don't think he's gonna come." You keep saying Fred Durst won't let me down, but he does big time. And to this day, you have not forgiven him, even though you know in your heart it's not really his fault that you were tricked. Like you still are like you. There's just a part of you that can't ever really get over it, and so you're just like, "Fuck this. I'm sticking with physical news media." And so this
what
is a
an
few.
awful what an awful point to use as like a pivot to something else. To something that is so greatly going to impact like every day of my life.
Yeah, well, you were humiliated, and you never want to feel that humiliation again.
Jesus Christ.
And so you're like, look, if I have to wait an extra 24 hours to hear about something, whatever. I got nothing but time. And so you're looking down at the cover of the LA Times. It says Weird Al dead.
No, come on.
Like I said, it's a few years down
Come
the road.
on.
And
Don't do
so
that.
you're like, holy shit. And you
Don't.
cannot believe what you're reading. And so
That
there's
sucks.
all these different like people being quoted.
What he died of?
It doesn't really. It just says like it doesn't really have a. The like cause of death hasn't been released by the family yet, and so you're like, whoa, holy shit, and it kind of rocks your world for a little bit, and it kind
Man.
of rocks a lot of people's worlds, and
Yeah,
because
dude. I
the
grew up on Weird Al.
that's the thing. The thing about Weird Al is that so many of us grew up on him that it feels like a part of our childhood has died.
Yeah, for sure.
For a lot of people, like you always viewed Weird Al as your Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean? And
He was like
so,
such a kind man.
yep. And that's the thing. And like all these stories are coming out about how like all these great things he did behind the scenes that people were like, yeah, he told me not to tell anybody about this. But like, you know what I mean? But like, fuck it. Like, I need the world to know what Weird Al did for me. You know what I mean?
I've
Like,
said
there's,
for a long time they should put Weird Al in the Super Bowl halftime show. They should give Weird Al the halftime. It would be the best fucking halftime show. It would be so good.
well, Aaron,
Play, tell him to play the fucking hits, man.
they actually did the year before he died. They didn't
Oh,
realize that
really?
he was sick or whatever it was that ended up having him pass away. So Weird Al actually played the year before their the Super Bowl halftime show, and it
Yeah.
was like, and no one knew. They were like, "Look, just you're gonna want to tune in." They don't even tell you
Yeah.
who it's gonna be, and people were like,
What does he do? What does he play?
"So." The way that the halftime show worked was like the announcers are there. They have a John Madden hologram there that year.
Oh, okay. But
He's
Frank
like
Caliendo is pissed.
Frank Caliendo is not happy with the situation. No, he's
Can't
not,
be.
and he has made it very well known.
Oh no, Frank.
Yeah, and so the announcers are like throughout the game as they're calling not calling the plays, but you know what I mean, like doing the broadcasts are going like, and folks, only one more quarter till we find out who our Super Bowl halftime performer is. Like they don't even know.
Oh no, but I mean they probably know, but they probably
They don't. No one does.
they don't. Man, they
No.
actually managed to keep it a secret.
They make yeah. It's actually like years later they do a documentary about like how they managed to pull this off. How they managed
What's
to.
the documentary called?
It's called "Where's Al?" The Super Bowl halftime show that changed the nation.
Oh shit. What do you mean by change the nation? Was this like a special
It
when I think
just
of Super Bowl halftime shows, I think of like Bruce Springsteen, the
right.
one with Prince,
Mhm.
and
Oh
then
sure, yeah, that was a good one.
Nelly. Like there's some iconic performances in there,
Yeah.
but where this like live in that realm?
So yeah, what happens is they basically the halftime show starts. The whole fucking stadium is pitch black,
Yeah.
as dark as like a black hole, almost. Not quite.
Okay.
Suddenly, spotlight shines down on like the stage. The only
Yeah.
thing on there is just like a stool and a pair of fucking glasses,
Like prescriptions or sunglasses.
prescriptions.
So
Suddenly,
it's eyeglasses. Okay.
suddenly the strings start playing to get to Amish Paradise,
Oh fuck.
and he like rises up out of like a podium, and as he like hits the top, he grabs those sunglasses or those prescription glasses and puts them on. He's wearing like a his hair the way that he used to back in the day. You know what I mean?
Like
And
long.
yeah, and so he performs Amish Paradise. He goes through the hits, dude. It's like a 20-minute long halftime show, and he plays them all. Another one rides the bus,
Oh fuck.
white and nerdy. So he goes. It's a from every single era of his catalog. He
Okay.
hits. So like if you're a fan of his, early work with Dr. Demento,
Yeah.
you come away satisfied. You're like you're glad that he,
My
acknowledged that.
Bologna.
Of course, yeah. They you actually, he acknowledges that part of his career, And
Sure.
then if you're into the 90s stuff, got you covered. They do
Yeah.
he does Smells Like Nirvana, I think is
Oh,
the parody song that
yeah,
he
yeah,
did. He does that. Like I said, white and nerdy. He does it like it's from every era.
yeah.
And people are so overcome with this because, at the end of the day, who doesn't like Weird Al? that there are people who they see this and they call like estranged family members
Oh wow.
to be like, look,
They're so moved.
they're so moved that they go, we're not going to agree on everything, but if I've learned anything from Weird Al, it's that you gotta love.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's so it's a it does necessarily it changes the nation in terms of that, like, you know what I mean. And so people really do feel incredibly moved by this the Super Bowl halftime performance.
So do you think this was done on his part as like a love letter to his fans, knowing that he was going to die soon? Do you think that he knew of his own mortality and like kind of made this a swan song event, or was
It's a big part of the documentary that comes out
yeah?
is it's
Okay.
people, yeah, where there is some debate amongst weirdologists, where did he know.
Wait, hang on. People who are into Weird Al call themselves weirdologists.
Well, like these are people who they go deep into Weird Al and his history, and yeah, these are like Weird Al researchers. And so the weirdologists, they kind of go back and forth.
Weirdologists.
There's some very prominent people who argue that he absolutely knew that he was going to die, and this was him, yeah, a love letter, like you said, to his fans saying, you know, thanks, because he ends the performance by just like he does the thing where he kisses his two fingers, then like puts up a peace sign.
Classic end move.
And
Classic finishing move at a concert.
and
Good
the,
night.
the most prominent weirdologist who advocates for this point of view is this guy, Kurt Jensen. He's like, he does the that kiss off at the end. That's him saying goodbye to his fans. Not like, hey, thanks for coming out tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
This is him saying, like, and then there's people who say that no, it's just, that's just how you end a concert. So there is some debate. And both sides get, they do get equal amount of time essentially in the documentary. They definitely consider both points of view. Overall, at the end of it, the director just kind of has you make up your own mind, you know, hear the
Yeah.
facts, or rather hear the things that people say, and it's up to you to come up with your own interpretation of Weird Al.
Well, I'm glad he got the halftime show. It's certainly well deserved.
It is, yeah. So you're kind of like broken up by this. And in the next few weeks, like they read his will and stuff like that. And it turns out that Weird Al has like left behind an endowment for a parody songwriting contest. It's like he leaves aside like $5 million.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
You think that to yourself. And you're so, not only just because of the money, which you have to admit is a pretty motivating factor. You want to enter this contest because you do want to pay tribute to
Yeah.
someone who gave you so much.
Yeah.
And so you take time off of work to
Oh,
devote
I take this
yourself.
seriously.
You take it this seriously. Like you need
Okay.
to give yourself several months of
What?
just of just
Months?
yeah, of just like parody songwriting, like boot camp essentially, where you write like at least three entire parodies a day. And you, like I said, take it very, very serious.
Months.
Yeah.
As in more than one.
Yeah. The first one that you come up with, you're like, bong, 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 I got a bong. Bong, 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 I got a bong. I got a bong. Got a bong.
Yeah.
Got a fucking bong, and yeah, I got a bong. I got a bong, bong, bong. I got a bong.
I got a bong, I got a bong, I got a bong, and I got a bong, got a bong, got a fucking bong.
So you kind of like go through a lot. You do a lot of different song parodies that you kind of practice with. You for a while you go through like a Beatles phase where you're doing a lot of like Beatles parodies. Um, you do a parody of the song Blackbird.
Yeah.
Instead of Blackbird singing in the dead of night, it's eating burgers because it feels just right. Eating burgers because it feels just right. Eating burgers every fucking night
Yeah.
until I die. Hope I die with a burger in my fucking mouth.
Okay, so I'm going through phases of cover songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Phases of cover songs. And so you get so into this
I'm into this.
that you kind of like realize that, like, oh shit, it's been like 2 months and you are just hemorrhaging money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm fucking saying. Like, you want me to take 2 months off of fucking work?
And you do.
Gee, how does my work feel about this? They can't be happy.
They're not happy, but I mean, they're like, look, Aaron, this is something that we find very odd, but we all process grief in different ways, I guess.
Okay.
So you really don't have a lot in the bank. One morning, you're sitting, you're like listening to you listen to like a Creed
Yeah.
with arms wide open.
Okay.
You're like working on a couple different angles for this next parody. One of them is this bong I'm smoking. Nah. That's all you have so far. Like you're like, okay, so what's the next line? And you've been at it for a few hours.
Under the street light. Like, I think it still works.
Yeah.
You can just use their words.
Welcome to this place. I can't fucking feel my face. I'm really high now. You're like getting really into it.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're like you're listening on like Bluetooth headphones. And then like suddenly like the music like stops. And then you hear like over like your Bluetooth and like in your headphones, you hear like hey, Mr. Brooks, is this a good time?
What the fuck? I didn't answer a call.
They go, oh, you must have not heard it ring. Anyway, this is
Calls
Kyle.
just don't answer when they come through. I have to like accept or decline.
Right. And he goes, yeah, maybe you probably hit it and didn't realize it. But anyway, this is Kyle from the Lanalax Corporation. I've got a income earning opportunity for you if you have a moment.
How much money do I have how much runway do I have?
You kind of think that to yourself as like you take this phone call and like you look it up on like your like a bank app real quick. You've got $57
Oh, fuck.
all in change.
So there's no money left in my bank account.
No, there's money in your
It's
bank account,
just,
but it's all coins. That's like
that's
all
not
that's
how,
all you could scrounge together. They
that's
make
not
a
how the
point
fucking bank
they
works.
make a point
What?
in the app that where it says 57, and there's like an asterisk, and like you kind of like scroll down to the asterisk and it says like mostly change.
It's fucking,
So what do you say?
I go, yeah, what is your offer?
So Kyle goes on to explain that the Lanalax Corporation, they are doing a medical study essentially. Um, They are trying to cure, they're trying to like get rid of dreams about dreams, like dreams within dreams. They're like, we're trying to do a study to
Like
see if it's,
Inception?
yeah, they're like, we're trying to do a study to see if it's possible to do that. So basically, all you would do is we just kind of need like a just like a set of like brain waves to kind of measure against as like a control or whatever. So, you know, you're not really doing much. All you have to do is come here, spend the night. We attach some electrodes to your brain and we kind of analyze it. And we use that kind of as a basis to test against, you know, the dreams. You get paid. It's
What do I
basically,
get out of this?
it's a 24-hour stay there. You just sleep there. It's very accommodating. He says he's like, yeah, you know, uh, we'll have food for you. We'll have, you know, like different streaming services. So, you know, if you want to like watch TV or something, you can do that. We make things very comfortable for you, Mr. Brooks.
Why don't I just show up when it's time to go to bed? Why do I have to spend a full day there?
They go, well, you know, and some people they unwind in different ways. Some people they're only able to fall asleep to the sound of like TV or like someone like that. You know what I mean? He
Okay,
goes,
can
look,
I just show up like an hour before bedtime? I don't want to spend my whole fucking day at this place.
he goes, are you sure it's very
I don't,
accommodating?
I don't need your accommodations to go to sleep.
He goes, so cancel the silk pajamas?
No, I mean, if you're gonna have me go to sleep, like, but I don't need all day to put on silk pajamas.
He goes, yeah,
I don't need 24 hours to do that. I can show up an hour beforehand, get all stickered up, and then put on those silk PJs.
sure. He's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good, Mr. Brooks. We'll see you tomorrow. Just
What do I get out of this?
10 grand.
$10,000, and I have to spend one night hooked up to this stuff so you can monitor, not influence, but just monitor my brain waves.
Just monitor.
And it's one night. I have to be there for 8 hours
He goes, look, all
overnight.
really, he goes, in all honesty, we just really need a few REM cycles. So, I mean, like if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can go home if you want. Matter of
Yeah,
fact,
fine.
keep the silk pajamas.
Great. Let's do this.
So 10
Let's do
grand
it.
and a set of silk pajamas. Do you do it?
Yeah, yeah.
You kind of
I'll show
think,
up there an hour beforehand,
yeah.
let him put the suckers on me, and then I'll go to bed.
So you show up. It's like you show up at like what time do you normally go to bed?
That depends. Somewhere between uh probably like 11 and 12, something like that.
So you show up at like 10:30. It's at like a building downtown that you've never noticed before. And so you go there and they're like, "Hey, Mr. Brooks, there's like a, you know, there's like a team of researchers there or whatever, and they have like a very spacious room set up for you. There's like, you know, a king size bed, gigantic TV. There's like a bowl of fruit by the bed.
I just want to go to bed.
And they go,
So where the silk PJs. Let me get those on.
the silk
Is there
PJs
is
are,
there a fan? I like a fan.
oh, there's a fan on the top of the ceiling, and there's also like a loose fan on the ground. Both of them are customizable as far as like how fast or how strong they go, or if they're even on at all.
Okay, great.
They go here at
How
Lanalax
accommodating.
testing, here at Lanalax Testing Institute, we try to be very accommodating. They like, and then like everybody, then all the technicians there turn and look at you and they all like raise their eyebrows a bunch of times, you know, like,
I
whoa.
don't like that. I don't like that at all. I do not feel comfortable with that.
But they only do it for like a second, and you're kind of like you kind of get the feeling it's like some kind of weird inside joke or something. So the silk PJs are draped almost sensuously across the bed, And they're like, all right, well, they're like, all right, well, we'll give you your privacy, obviously, to get changed into them, and then we'll attach the electrodes, and then we'll tuck you in, and that's it.
You don't have to tuck me in.
Like, okay, well then we
Put
won't.
put it on me and let me put the fan on.
They're like just trying to be accommodating.
I don't. I really do. I appreciate. I say I appreciate it.
So
I
they
really do. But
so you,
I just want to go to bed.
so you get changed into those silk pajamas. You you pull them over, like you pull the pants on first, and as they like very softly, almost playfully brush up against your like fucking calves, as you like pull the pants up, you kind of like shiver for like just a second.
Gross.
When you put the top on, it's like same thing. Just feels incredible against your skin.
Mm.
So you crawl into bed. Um, you're like, okay, I'm ready. The technicians come in, they attach electrodes and stuff like that. They go, good night, Mr. Brooks, and we'll see you in the morning.
Say good
So
night.
you go to sleep. Uh, you dream of a howling void. You wake up the
Great.
next day and stretch. They're like, all right, Mr. Brooks, well, you are good to go. Um, here's your check for $10,000
And
and
large.
10 large. And they go, and again, keep the PJs.
Thanks. Great.
Um,
This is great. Now I have $10,000.
yep. And you're like, fuck yeah. And you go to like deposit it, and you're already thinking of like the next song parody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of that song Brick?
The Ben Folds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you're kind of like thinking to yourself, and you're not necessarily going to record this, but you're kind of going through different words to kind of figure it out. And so you're like, it's my dick and I'm grabbing at it. And you're like, I don't know about that. You pull up to the bank, and you grab that check out, and you look down at your
It's my
hand,
check and I'm grabbing at it.
deposit, and then probably go home. You look
Yeah.
down, and on your left hand you have 7 fingers.
What the fuck? 7 fingers?
Yeah.
Where are they in relation to the rest of my fingers?
Um, you look down at your hand, and it's almost like it's hard for you to picture what your hand looked like before. It just naturally looks like there's, you know,
But is
seven
it like
fingers.
pinky side?
More like somewhere between the middle and the ring, 2 of them.
Jesus Christ.
You kind of like, what the fuck? You blink.
No, wait, is that seven plus a thumb, or is the thumb counted in this? Am I gaining 2 or 3 fingers?
No, you count the thumb. You always have.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I That's true.
Yeah. You kind of like blink back to 5 fingers.
What the fuck is going on?
And you're like, what the hell? And like you deposit your check, and you're like, that was fucking weird. You go home, and you're like, you can't stop thinking about that weird kind of almost vision that you had. I mean, it must have been a vision, right? You kind of think that to yourself. You start like making yourself some lunch. You look down, and those extra 2 fingers are back.
God damn it.
And so one set of fingers is like you're spreading like peanut butter on one side. The other extra fingers, they're like spreading jelly on the other.
Using my fingers to spread?
Well, no, they're holding knives. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that's
Oh no, no, not like actual. No, no, no. You're using like like
like a butter knife.
yeah, butter knives.
So I have
Two butter knives for
two.
one hand. And you're like, huh? And then there's like a pot that you have like hanging from like the ceiling, and it falls, and you're like, uh-oh. And then on your right hand, your other hand, suddenly your fingers like get really long and zip out and like grab it before it can fall back down.
Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell's going on?
Your phone rings. What do you do?
I look at the fucking phone, Pat. I put down the pot that I caught out of midair.
Yeah,
I tell my other hand,
effortlessly.
hey, stop spreading peanut butter and jelly simultaneously with two different knives
Yeah.
and
You,
answer this phone call.
the two extra fingers that you have like kind of like go like loop, like back into your hand.
They retract into my hand or
Yeah,
they just disappear.
they like
Or I just
retract.
see them.
You
What
see
the
them. Yeah,
fuck?
and you answer the phone. It's like, hey, Aaron, this is Kyle from the Lanalax Corporation. Just calling to check in with you and just make sure you got home okay.
What the fuck did you guys do to me? Both of my hands are all fucked up.
He goes, what do you
Both of
mean?
them. What the fuck do you mean? My one hand has two extra fingers. I can hold two different knives in my left hand now. In my right hand, a pot just fell from above me, and my finger shot out and caught it out of midair. What the
Yeah.
fuck did you guys do to me?
He goes like, oh, Mr. Brooks, wow, that sounds crazy. He goes, okay, I will tell you exactly what to do right after lunch. He goes, I'll call you back. He hangs up.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why can't you tell me now?
He's like, all right, 45 minutes. Like he hangs up.
Are you fucking serious?
What
I'm
do you
so
do?
pissed off. I just sit there pissed off. I sit there furious watching the clock on my phone as 45 minutes pass.
You don't try to see what kind of new abilities you have?
No, Pat, I'm terrified. I have two new fingers and my dominant hand I now can spider web my fingers out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
whatever happened wasn't done under like my own volition. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
so you
If I move, I'm terrified.
so you kind of like sit there like very still as all this is like going through your head, and you notice that like suddenly you become overwhelmed because your face like itches. You ever have a thing where it's like you try not to move and something itches and it just fucking
I mean, I would scratch an itch, but I'm not leaving this place. I'm not doing anything.
you go up to scratch the itch and you have like several of them going at this point, and almost unconsciously like the extra fingers come out and they start like scratching the various things on your face, and you start realizing like it's this unconscious thing that like your body does like whenever it needs extra fingers or like needs to do crazy stuff with like finger length or whatever, it just sort of like happens. Like you're sitting there, like the mailman like slides some mail through the slot, your fingers go like whoop out and like snatch them back. Like you don't even really like it's again, it's like a reflex. You don't even really think about it.
I can't ever be around anyone ever. That's what this means.
Yeah.
I'm being doomed to like a life of loneliness. I can't be around anybody because what if the mail gets delivered or I have an itch?
Yeah.
What if that happens? Then I'm fucking found out. What the fuck happened to me when I was under?
So your phone rings, just a giant L on the call waiting
Yeah, I
thing.
answered immediately. Is it this guy?
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, it's Kyle." He goes, "Got to tell you, Aaron, I have had better lunches." He goes, "Anyway, so what's up, man?"
I go, Kyle, what the fuck did you guys do to me? I
He's
told
like,
you what happened last time we talked. My
he's
fucking
like,
hands are all weird.
he's he's like, "Oh man, I nothing like this has ever happened before." He's like, "It sounds kind of strange. Are you sure?"
I'm so pissed off.
He goes, "Well, I mean, do you want to come back in and we can kind of like see what's what, or like, what do you want to do, bro?"
I want to know what the fuck you guys did to me while I was sleeping. I woke up and all of a sudden I have seven fingers on my left hand and my right hand has like go-go gadget fingers.
He's like, all right, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not like a scientist. I just do the phone. So, but yeah, I can make an appointment. Do you want to come in today?
No, I'm coming in right now.
He goes, all right. So he hangs up.
I hang up.
So you go back downtown to this to the building, and the doctors are there, and they're like, holy shit. And so they start like doing like tests and stuff like that.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Well, they're like, we have to like figure out like what's going on. And so like they do the thing where like they
I say, first off, before you fucking touch me, what did you guys do to me?
they go,
What did you said I was going to be monitored. I went to bed and then I woke up with these fucked up hands.
the lead doctor is this guy, uh Travis Hero. And he's like, Aaron, as far as he goes, look, I got to be honest with you. The people who were running this study all killed themselves today. So I'm still trying to like kind of
Great.
get acclimated to the role. So as far as I know, they just, scanned your brain. But I'm reading
With
some of
what?
I'm reading some of the reports here, and it seems like, your brain's pretty normal. It seems healthy. So, that's so that's good. And then he takes
I find
like
a lawyer
he
because I'm gonna sue the fuck out of these people.
you say that, and like he throws a bunch of like frisbees out without saying anything, and like unconsciously your fingers like go
This
out
is
and
what
like
I'm talking
stab all
about.
of them and like bring them back.
This is what I'm fucking talking about.
He goes, holy shit. He goes, Aaron, let us work with you. We can hone these abilities.
I don't want to hone shit. I want my normal hands back. I want to write songs. I want to write parody songs. I don't want to be a goddamn fucking hand wizard or hand hero. Like I don't want that. I want my normal, regular five-fingered hands back.
So you're like super mad, and like as you leave, you take your left hand and like give everybody the finger. Suddenly the extra two fingers pop up, and now you're giving them two middle fingers.
It's worthless.
So
You've
you
rendered the middle finger worthless. It's not the middle finger anymore. What the fuck?
so you
Another
get
loss.
so you so you get a lawyer. This guy, uh Jack. The only one that you can afford is this guy Jackson Renegade, the attorney who fucks.
I'm
He's this.
not going with Jackson Renegade, the attorney who fucks.
He's the only one that you
There's
can
not a
afford.
lawyer who wants to take this case.
Once they find out who it's against, no.
God damn it.
So
Why is Jackson Renegade the attorney who fucks taking it?
because he's a rock and roll attorney, and his whole thing is like, I don't give a fuck. You can sue me. I'll take the case. I do not give a fuck, dude. Like he's like, again, rock and roll attorney. And so they take the Lanalax Corporation to court, and the judge basically, like, the way that they show it is like they put you on like the stand or whatever, and he's like, Your Honor, look at what has happened to my client. He flicks like a bunch of like quarters in the air, and without even thinking about it, your finger just goes and like pierce all five of them, and you bring them back.
See, Pierce, like my
Like
fingers are going through the quarters.
through the quarters,
Uh,
and you bring them
Jesus
back.
Christ.
Yeah. And he goes, Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, does that rock? I don't think so. You
Oh,
win.
damn it.
You win a $30 million lawsuit
Oh,
against
wow.
the Lanalax Corporation. It's like a 1 day trial. It's like so obvious that, like, you know what I mean, that like it was like this miscarriage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
justice. They call it a miscarriage of science, and you're like, holy shit. And as you're walking out, there's like several like hand doctors who go, Aaron, it would be our honor to like to work with you to try to kind of find some kind of like, cure for your fingers. And you're like, holy shit. And everyone's going like, Aaron, Aaron, Aaron. Everybody is like loving it.
Yeah.
People are like, this is a win for the little guy. Jackson Renegade, like he goes, my stock is going up. He goes, and it's all thanks to you, Aaron. Thank you so much. You walk out,
Yeah.
and then like the sun kind of like hits you in like your eyes for a second, and like everything
Yeah.
goes kind of like really like bright and like weird and like white,
Okay.
and you kind of like shake your head and you come to,
God damn it.
and you are in an all white space,
What the fuck?
a room without walls. Standing in front of you is this guy. He's like 7 feet tall. He's dressed like a clown. He's holding a balloon.
Yeah.
The balloon has your face on it.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hello, Aaron. My name is Dreamy
Dreamy
Dan,
Dan.
ruler of the dreamscape." And he goes, "Did you think that any of that happened, Aaron? You're still asleep, stupid."
Great.
The
Yeah, I thought
balloon,
it all fucking happened. I thought it all happened.
the balloon pops.
Yeah.
You wake up, they take the electrodes off you. They're like, "All right, Aaron, well, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming out. Keep the pajamas. Here's your check for $10,000." And you're
God
like,
damn it.
yeah, you kind of like stunned for a second. So you get dressed, you walk outside to go home, and you're hit by a car
Damn it. What the fuck?
driven by
What?
driven by Fred Durst. He felt so bad about a
Are you
few.
kidding me?
He felt so bad about like missing these events that like because there are a bunch of these joke events that people kept putting up. How
They
like
were real events. Why would he feel bad?
because he's like fuck because people showed up. You know, like people showed up to gas stations or like Popeyes fried chickens or whatever that they said that they were going to play at. And he's like, I feel really bad. And so there was one nearby and he's like, fuck it. I'm going to show up, man. And he was going so fast that he didn't even notice that you were walking down and he just fucking ran you over.
God damn it. God fucking damn it. I get run over by the Limp Bizkit mobile.
Yeah, they're playing rolling, 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 rolling. And you roll
Oh,
and
remember that?
and your head rolls down the hill,
Oh
like up
no.
the straight. It like just
My
rolls
head.
down as yeah, you're decapitated and it, like your head rolls
You
down the
get
straight
decapitated.
by the Limp Bizkit mobile. Yeah, and it just rolls down the hill, rolls down the hill.
He's listening to that song while my head is rolling, rolling, rolling.
Yeah,
You know y'all be loving this shit right here.
that's the last thing you hear before you die.
Oh no, no.